Hi there, welcome to this live. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com, and I have been intending to come live for a while. I know I did not announce it, but I don't know why I just pressed the live button, although I had intended to record this as a video. So this is my Virgo new moon update. The Virgo new moon is happening on the 17th of September at about 25 degrees. Okay, and you know that the new moon is about the sun and the moon coming together in a particular astrological sign, giving us the seed to grow. Thank you. The seed to I'm very hot because it's got so hot here. So no makeup, no just a bit of lipstick. I was unable to do any makeup, unable to do get ready for you guys, but I thought that it was more important to come and tell you about the Virgo lunation that is coming up on the 25th, on the 17th at 25 degrees, the third decan of Virgo, which I'll explain in great detail. This is going to be a long live, so you can always come back to it and later refer, because it's going to be up later on as a video after the live. So if you missed it, it's okay. Now, as I said, it happens on the 25th degree. Okay, and now before I begin to explain to you stuff about the lunation, let us understand the meaning of Virgo in Hellenistic astrology. Okay, so I want to give you some of the significations from Vatius Valens, who is one of my favorite astrologers, whose work I tend to always refer to, go back to understand, analyze, and really work with, because hello, because he tends to give us a lot of good substance. So let me read to you from Vatius Valens. Virgo is the house of Mercury. I told you Mercury rules Virgo by domicile. Okay, of course, when you break it up into triplicity, the first 10 degrees is ruled by Mercury, the second 10 degrees is ruled by Saturn, the last 10 degrees is ruled by Venus. Okay, that is the triplicity division. Now, Virgo is the house of Mercury, feminine, winged, anthropomorphic, luxurious. I know there's not a lot of luxury that one associates with Virgo. I mean, that is something that is the domain of Taurus or even Capricorn, but Valence signifies luxurious, gives luxury as a signification to Virgo. Interesting, okay, and I completely agree. Standing like a figure of justice. So, you see this form of the virgin, the maiden, standing like a figure of justice, because Virgo is really very, very concerned with justice, with all of humanity and the humane attributes, human condition, if I may say so. Okay, by corporeal barren. So Virgo is probably one of the most barren earth signs, not like Taurus, because Taurus is very, very fertile. Now also when you look at the signification that the moon is exalted in Taurus, and Cancer being the most fertile sign, you understand that Taurus is a very fertile earth sign. The other earth signs are not as fertile, because you look at Capricorn, it's ruled by Saturn. And one of the significations of Saturn is childlessness, is difficulty with childbirth, okay, is barrenness. So immediately you understand that if you are Taurus, you are very fertile, but Virgo is barren. So Virgo on the cusp of fourth house, fifth house, problems could occur with pregnancy and childbirth. Even Virgo rising with Mars in the first, problems could occur with menstrual cycles. Okay. Now, Baron, a freedman. So like I said, Virgo is very, very concerned with freedom, because it is a sign that is interested with justice. All right. uh, a freed man with no offspring, again barren. Downward trending, that means feminine. This is mutable earth, so downward trending, right? And I explained to you in the Sri Yantra Puja that I don't know why the dogs downstairs are going mad. uh, so yeah, like I told you, the Sri Yantra Puja, the Sri Yantra has 5 downward trending triangles that signifies the feminine. So this downward trending that Valence says, it signifies Virgo being mutable earth, right? Now, common, because it is the natural 6th house of the zodiac that deals with service. So like Leo is the sign of royalty, Virgo is a sign that deals with common people. It's the archetype of service, so the servant, all right, industry. Uh, Semi-vocal or mute, concerned with the body. So again, being the natural 6th house of the zodiac, there is a concern with food, diet, exercise, and the physical body. All right, incomplete. This is very, very interesting. Incomplete, changeable, because we immediately understand changeable because of the mutable signature. Because cardinal signs, mutable signs are extremely changeable. Yet mutable signs have the component of adaptability, whereas the cardinal signs have change but not much adaptability, right? Uh, Two-natured. Now the thing with Virgo and being two-natured is because it's a very anxious sign. And the mantra of Virgo is I analyze. So this necessity to overanalyze a particular problem to optimize this is why Virgo can be alienating, because they can be nagging. In their want to optimize a particular situation, they can become obsessed with it. Okay, and all they want to do is solve it. How do we solve it? How do we get to the bottom of this? Like I told you that Virgo wants to hack things apart. Stop! And my dog is also just started screaming in the background. Uh, so as I said, I analyze. Virgo's energy signature is analysis, optimization. The mantra for Virgo is I analyze. So under a new moon, now remember each sign gets one new moon and one full moon. So when you have a lunation in Virgo, you must analyze according to the house that it falls in. If it's your first house, like it's my first house, so I have to think of my physical body. I have to think of my image. I have to think of everything that has to do with me, because the first house is the helm. And Mercury, interestingly, finds joy in first house, because it's the pivot. It's how you pivot the world. It's how your soul was plugged into the matrix, Virgo. Now, the cards associated to this lunation, this is the card of the decan, the 3rd decan of Virgo, because it's on the 25th degree. So 10 of Pentacles, very, very auspicious. It's about creating a legacy, creating the life you want, the meaning you want. And this is the card of Virgo, major arcana. And interestingly, this is about solitude, and it reminds me of Saturn. Okay, the Hermit card reminds me very, very much about Saturn and a mentor. Now, the thing with Virgo is Virgo can be a very good mentor, but while growing up, Virgo might need a mentor. And this is the energy of Virgo to tune off, to sort of tune into the guru within, because Virgo is always concerned about figuring out things, hacking things a bit, and then putting them together. Okay, now, so there are four temperaments in astrology, right? Four temperaments in classical astrology connected by four fluids. Okay, so these are four fluids and four essential constitution of the humankind. Now there's something very similar to this in Ayurveda. Okay, in Ayurveda we do Nadi Pariksha, which is that the Ayurvedic doctor will start checking your, thank you, will start checking your Nadi, which is your pulse, and just by studying your pulse he's going to analyze your wow he's going to analyze your whole astrological breakup. So you may have a pitta imbalance, means you excessive heat in the body. What's happening to me right now, because it's so hot, and I think there's a cyclone coming, and it's that. Okay, then you can have vata imbalance. Vata imbalance is air imbalance. Okay, or you can have kapha imbalance. Kapha imbalance is water imbalance. Okay, so these are things to think about. Like in Hellenistic astrology, four fluids, four constitutions, okay, four temperaments, okay. Yes, me neither. Believe me, I have all my planets in Virgo. So it's like, and my moon's in Pisces. So I have my moon opposite all my planets, like my Mars, my Venus, my Rahu, and of course my Ketu's opposite all these planets. And I've got my moon 11 degrees of Pisces, where I just had the full moon. So I feel this lunation very deeply, and the last one too. This Virgo Pisces polarities are so much about healing. Okay, now, before I forget, these four constitutions, so breaking Virgo down, we get melancholic temperament, and I completely agree. Oftentimes people look at my pictures and say, oh, why are you so melancholic? Why are you so sad? I'm not. I'm just standing in front of a camera and taking a picture. But people tend to, because I'm a Virgo rising, people tend to see the melancholic humor come out, and they think I'm really being sad. Okay, and when I think of this energy, I think of Lana Del Rey's song, I'm pretty when I cry. It's so Pisces Virgo polarity, guys, it's crazy. So we've got Virgo, who's also cold and dry. It's because it's earth, okay, so it's cold and it's dry. I says stop, stop. Okay, so we've got melancholic, cold, dry, right, and connected to the metaphorical substance called black bile. In Hellenistic astrology, like I said, this Virgo is connected to black bile and black bile imbalances, right? Now let's get to basics. Who is the ruler of this lunation? I told you guys, it's Mercury. Mercury is the quickest moving planet, and Mercury is the psychopump bringing to us information from Ra, or the solar logos. And Ra is the sun, and today is Sunday, and today is his day. So I wanted to do this today because I want to do this as early as possible so people could understand the energetic vibe that's coming. But also because doing it on a Sunday means that I'm channeling in Mercury through the solar logos, and Mercury stays closest to the sun. So in essence, Mercury is bringing to us information from the world of Ra, Amon Ra, as the Egyptians knew of him. Surya Deva, as we call him. Okay, now, so where is Mercury in this lunation? Mercury is in the cardinal air sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. Okay, so where is Venus? Venus will be in Leo, ruled by the sun. Okay, so I've spoken to you about dispositions and the final dispositor. Now in Vedic astrology, we do not have something known as the final dispositor, but we have the understanding of dispositions. So if Mercury is in Libra, Mercury is feeding off the vibe of Venus. Okay, so this is how you've got to understand the chart. This is going layers and layers, and then you understand triplicity, and then you understand bands and terms, then you understand faces. So it sort of reveals to you layers and layers of meaning in a particular lunation. There's so much going on with each lunation, and sadly we do not go into such great depth, but Virgo likes to dig deep. It's not Scorpio, I know, it's not Saturn ruled Capricorn, I know, but believe me when I say this, Virgo likes to go deep into any topic. It's very serious, very studious. Oftentimes the monitors in school will be Virgo's ascendants. Oftentimes the first girls will be Virgos with maybe Taurus, Capricorn, or even Cancer, whatever. Virgo. Importance, okay? Now, this is of course DECAN 3. The tarot card of that is the 10 of Pentacles, okay? So, culmination of something huge financially. So this is good. Or creating something that leads to this in 6 months when you are going to have that full moon in the sign of Virgo. Okay? Now, so the triplicity, like I told you, each sign is broken up into 3 degrees. Okay, and for instance, Virgo. So Virgo, the first 10 degrees of Virgo belong to Mercury. The next 10 degrees belong to Saturn by triplicity. And the last 10 degrees of Virgo belong to Venus by triplicity. Okay, so this relation is actually ruled by Venus through triplicity. And interestingly, Venus is in fall in the astrological sign of Virgo. But we've got some of the most beautiful women in the world who've got Venus in Virgo. Okay, I'm going to get to that. Jupiter is in detriment in Virgo. Okay, because obviously, stop, Isis, just stop. Honestly, stop. Okay, so the thing is that because Jupiter is rules the opposite sign of Pisces. Okay, so when you look at Jupiter ruling Pisces, Jupiter, yes, I'm not going to let her come out because she's going to get up and she's going to get on that thing and she's going to try to look outside. And then if she falls while I'm making a video, it's going to be, stop, stop, stop. Okay, so that's the thing. I cannot leave my door open when I'm shooting out because it's open, and the animals, they have like no brains, and they honestly don't listen to me. So they're just gonna do what the hell they want to do, right? Okay, so Mercury is exalted in Virgo. Not only does Mercury rule Virgo, but Mercury is exalted in the astrological sign of Virgo. So it's very, very left-brained in a way. That's why the mantra I analyze. All right. Now Virgo. The glyph of Virgo is a virgin. And when we think of virgin, what do we mean? What do we understand? Okay, we understand women who are sexually naive or sexually chaste in some way. That is virgin. Okay, like the Virgin Mary, for instance. Let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Virgin denotes sexually emancipated women. Women who do not get married. In the ancient world, this was the meaning of Virgo. Okay? Women who were not possessions of their husbands. Okay? So, it's not someone who's chaste. It's, I just don't like to yell, stop, 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 stop it. They don't listen actually, they listen to my husband because he's like more strict with them, but I'm just not, so they don't listen. Anyway, let me not, stop. Okay, just stop. I should, and there's nobody at home either. So it's like really complicated. If I go out right now and then, I don't know what to go to. So I don't even want to end the thing because I want to complete it, and it's a very long expose that I'm doing. That's why I even decided to come live to do this very detailed exposés for the lunations. Because when I started watching astrology videos on YouTube, I used to see such basic renditions of the full moon and the new moon. It gave me new answers. Okay, and I was already a student of astrology for the last 15 years. So I did not get what I wanted when I watched these YouTube videos. So I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to really get deep into the subject and give you what I was looking for in a full moon or a new moon read, right? So Virgo is someone who's not chaste, but someone who's sexually autonomous. Do you understand? Someone who's sexually autonomous. So when you look at the lunar goddesses like Selene, Diana, Astarte, Isis, they were all virgins. All these goddesses were virgins. They were called virgins. But the Abrahamic religions, when they actually understood the connotation of what the virgin means, they changed it to meaning sexually chaste or sexually inexperienced, right? Yes, I do want to continue them, honestly, and I think I'll just go live because my computer's crashed. I don't have proper equipment at the moment. Uh, Even the mic that I was using, the Rode mic, it's not working anymore, and I just got it from Amazon, so I'm just like, I don't know what to do about my equipment. I just shifted, so I don't really have the financial wherewithal to get equipment, and I'm unable to even have space because I've got just so much material. Hard disks on hard disks. Now, where do I keep all of this? I don't know how I'm going to do this, but if the live situation works out and if my connection holds good, then I guess I will be able to just come in and do, 6 videos, 7 videos a day with the combinations and just go live with them. So that's what I was thinking, but let's see how it plays out. I don't know exactly. I got to get my equipment going. uh, I gotta get my editing stuff going. It's taking forever, okay, and I'm just not able. Hi, and I'm just not able to put it all together. So it's I hope I can finish up all of that because I know that a lot of people are waiting for those combination videos. All right, okay, I guess I'm just gonna take a second and let my dog in because my dog wants to come in. Hopefully she's not gonna try to jump out or anything. What is wrong with you? Get out, come on. Okay. Come sit. Come sit. Come sit. Come, you horrid dog. Come on. There. And that's my dog's a rescue, actually. She's not a posh breed or anything. She's just come here. Hey, Isis, come here. Her name is Isis. So, and we were just talking about, come on. And we were just talking about all these lunar goddesses, right? So I'm just gonna grab her hopefully. Oh, she's so heavy. Oh, there she is. There she is, okay? Great. So now she can just stare outside while I do my new moon and no more. Look, this is the face. That was disturbing the broadcast. That is the face. Look, you have been named and shamed. Okay? Yes. So she's an indie dog that I rescued. I rescue animals. I also foster animals on and off, which is why my videos are full of animal sounds. Because I oftentimes pick up animals on the street and bring them back home, look after them, and then release them either or get stuck with them. Alright. So yeah, I definitely want to get working on a shelter for animals, rescue animals, and let's see if that works out. You know, I intend to rescue so many animals. You want to sit here and be comfortable? Then sit here and be comfortable, okay? You have to sit on my lap. You can sit here. No jumping down. Yeah, thanks. Okay. I don't believe in big breeds. All my animals are rescues, so you know I don't believe in big breeds. But look how much I'm sweating, right? Because it's so hot in the city I live in called Bombay now. It's crazy, and I think a huge cyclone or something is coming. If you ask me. All right, now let us discuss Jupiter in detriment in Virgo. I think we've done that. Mercury exalted. Okay, so Diana, Astarte, Isis, Selene, all of these were lunar goddesses and they were all virgins, right? That did not mean that they were sexually naive. It meant that they were into sexual rites, into orgiastic rites of sexual alchemy. And then, of course, Abrahamic religions. Hey. And later on, of course, Abrahamic religions changed the whole understanding of the word virgin, right? Now, if you look at all of the heroes in history, if you look at Marduk, if you look at Sumerian Marduk, if you look at Buddha, if you look at Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, where we have Ishtar and all that, the whole story of Venus being played out through Ishtar's journey to Ereshkigal's realm, the netherworld, okay? So if you look at Gilgamesh, you look at Buddha, you look at Marduk, you look at Osiris, Jesus too, Dionysus, all of these men, they have one thing in common. Do you know what that is? That is that all of these men, all of these heroes of mammoth proportions were birthed by virgins. This does not mean their mothers were sexually chaste. It means their mothers were high priestesses and did not get married or were not possessions. Like women in that era were possessions. But it was only the women who were sexually emancipated, like the priestesses or, you know, the goddesses. They did not belong to anyone. Marriage was not a part of their life, okay? They did not belong to one man because Saturn all around. Okay, so now all of these heroes are born of virgin mothers. Now, virgins engaged in orgiastic rites, okay, rites, rituals of sexual rituals, right? These were matriarchal women, and matriarchal women took many lovers. They did not belong to one man. And believe me, this is the original meaning of virgin. So how misconstrued, don't go there. How misconstrued it has become, the understanding of virgin, or the sexually chaste woman, or the sexually, inexperienced woman. That's not the meaning of virgin. That was not the meaning of virgin in the ancient world, at least, okay? So how things change, how history is his story, right? Now, okay, so the virgins took many lovers. The virgins surrendered to the goddess. In India, we also have this called Devdasis. We surrendered to the goddess by making love to strangers in the temple. This was going on in Sumer, this was going on in ancient India, in ancient Egypt, in Babylon, all of the ancient world where the goddess was recognized, where there was matriarchy. These matriarchal women were the true virgins, and that is the meaning of Virgo. I made a video explaining to you how in ancient Babylon, Virgo and Scorpio were actually fused together. So if you also look at the glyphs, they look identical, except the Scorpio has the stinger, right? So these two signs were actually one till they were broken, and then Libra was added to give balance. So immediately you understand that Virgo it can be a barren sign, but it's very sexual. It's not looking to engage in the sexual act because of procreation only. Procreation can happen, but that is not the be all and end all of the Virgo native. That is Taurus, that is Cancer oftentimes. Okay, sexual intercourse leads to progeny, but that's not how the virgins of the ancient world, that's not what the virgins of the ancient world believed in, right? Uh, so this, it's a human sign, Virgo. It's very, very associated with human things, healing, surgery. Okay, it's a sign that works very good with hands, because yes, also Gemini, because Gemini rules the hands. But if you look at Gemini and if you see how Gemini operates, Gemini does not have the lethal staying power of Virgo, and the necessity to optimize, and the necessity to analyze. Okay, now interestingly, the Sufi mystic says, wait, let me get to, it's going to be quite an interesting expose, like I said. No surgery of any kind, not even cosmetic surgery, on the day of this new moon, or I would say given take 2 days. Do not go in for surgery. Do not go in for any kind of cosmetic surgery. I would say not even if you do Botox or if you do those lip fillers. No, stay away, right? Ladies, take care of the pancreas, because not only does Virgo rule digestion, but there is a fixed star that is in the equation called LABRUM, and LABRUM also rules the pancreas in the human body, and it's on 25 degrees of Virgo. It's a fixed star. I'm going to get to that. But take care of your pancreas. So, I would suggest a coriander cleanse. If you know how to do a coriander cleanse, juice cleanse would be very good that day. Just not eating non-vegetarian food that day. Very good. Not consuming dairy that day on that new moon to prepare your body. Doing more mantras that day, so you balance your Merkaba. Now, small intestine, take care of your small intestine. Take care of your digestive tract. So digestion, what you put in the mouth, and Virgo can be very anxious. So if you're consuming incorrect food, this could be a big problem on a Virgo new moon. Okay, big problem. Now, this is the 14th mansion of the moon, the 14th manzil of the moon. Now, oftentimes, now you know that, of course, the Arabic people, they broke the zodiac into mansions. And now, of course, the zodiac, they observed, has moved because of the precession of the equinox. So some astrologers, they use the sidereal calculation, some use the tropical calculation, and both are equally viable. To me, when I'm doing tropical astrology, like this is a tropical astrology report, I tend to look at the manzils of the moon as how the ancients perceived them. I do not take the sidereal calculations and go back 2 manzils. For instance, some websites have said this is happening on the 12th manzil of the moon. Not to me, because the Arabs saw the sky in a particular way. The Islamic astrologers, they identified the manzils, and the knowledge holds good. Even if we've had the precession of the equinox and things have changed around the sky, the fixed stars have moved, but still the understanding of the manzil for me is the same. Okay, so to me this is the 14th manzil of the moon, the 14th mansion of the moon, called Azimek. azimuth. Okay, now azimuth starts from 17th degrees of Virgo and is to about the end of the sign. Okay, and according to the PICATRIX, the images, of course, Virgo, Gemini as well. I think all of the signs are, because Virgo happens to be somewhere in your natal chart. So all of us are going to be affected by the Virgo lunation. Now, according to the PICATRIX, the images, the astrological images that can be made on this manzil are very good for love spells. So you can make images to enhance love between man and wife. Okay, heal sick with physics and medicine. So there's a medicinal component to this manzil. Okay, hello, I'm also Virgo rising, Virgo Venus, Virgo Mars, Virgo Ketu, Pisces Moon, Pisces Ketu, Virgo Rahu. North and South Node, for those of you that don't know what Rahu and Ketu are. So you can make images that heal the sick, that destroy plants and harvests, okay? And you can also make images to destroy lust. So if you're feeling lusty towards someone, this manzil can help you create an astrological image to destroy that lust. Interesting. Destroy people who go by roads. I told you a lot of baleful magic is done to the mansions of the moon. And interestingly, baleful magic is done in the name of Saturn and Mars. Now, a lot of people think Saturn is bad or Saturn is a greater malefic. He is. But he's not bad. It's like he is the Adi Shakti. From that Adi Shakti, he's the highest Lord. From that Lord, you can channel good or you can channel bad. Saturn is not good or bad. Energy is not good or bad. It's what you are channeling from them. It's your vibration. Don't forget that. Mars is not bad or good. But people who do baleful magic, people who do harmful magic, use the energies of Saturn and Mars. Because there is extremes to these two energies. The benefics are more moderate. Jupiter, Venus, they work with moderation, right? Now, good to create friendship with allies in this manzil, when the moon is in this manzil. Very good for sailors. So people at sea, it's safe for people. You can make, if your husband, for instance, is sailing right now, you can make an astrological image for his safety when the moon is in this manzil. Okay, you get that? That's how PICATRIX is to be used. Okay, a lot of the images, a lot of the procedures, a lot of the suffumigation procedures are very difficult and complex. And because they involve animal parts, I don't engage with a lot, but I find vegan alternatives. Like I don't use ghee or clarified butter in any of my havans or yagyas or my diyas. I use only mustard oil or til oil. So it's about adaptation. Modern problems require modern solutions. Remember that. So Arabic astrologers had a very interesting observation about this manzil. They said that if you marry a chaste woman, somebody who's a virgin, in today's understanding, that marriage will not last. But this manzil is very good to marry a sinful woman. Sinful in the sense of someone who is sexually, of course, who's not naive. So, excuse me, can you please take her in? They're disturbing the hell out of me, please. Disturbing the hell out of me. Okay, so the Arabic astrologers have said that getting married to sinful women is very good when the moon is in this manzil. So like women who've been prostitutes or women who've done sex work or women who are strippers, it's good to engage with people like that. Okay, I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying don't do that. Everybody has their own understanding, their own story. I am to you the knowledge of the ancients. How you interpret it, how you use it is entirely up to you, my friend. Like I said, Saturn is not good or bad. Saturn is how you understand Saturn. Mars is not good or bad. Venus is not good or bad. It's how you understand these planetary energies. So, marrying a sinful woman is effective in this manzil. So, Ibn Arabi, now the thing with me is I'm getting really, really involved with Islamic astrology, and I've just been reading a lot of Islamic astrological texts and blogs on the internet, and trying to understand Islamic astrology better. So Ibn Arabi, who was a Sufi mystic, he said that this mansion is connected to the fourth heaven. Fourth heaven is the solar sphere. Now again, today is the day of the sun, so we are connecting to the sun. Through the sun, we are bringing this message. Okay, this message today is sponsored to you by the sun. Right? And the sun is not here right now, but the sun is somewhere, and the sun is probably there where you are right now, right? So crazy, right? Solar sphere. Now, the divine attribute of this manzil is the light. It's called the light. So there's a lot of light. There's a lot of medicine coming forth from this manzil. Okay, coming forth from this manzil. Now, there is something in the astrological world called terms or bounds. Okay, each sign is broken up into terms, and then broken up into uneven bits. So the first term of Virgo happens to be the first 7 degrees, which is ruled by Mercury. So for instance, you have your sun at 6 degrees. So your sun is ruled by Mercury by term. Okay, by Mercury, by triplicity as well, if it's in the 6 degrees, right? Because the first 10 degrees of Virgo is ruled by Mercury in triplicity system. That means your karma is about writing, speaking, way more than someone who's born, say, at 10 degrees Virgo. Their rising is 12 degrees of Virgo. That means that by term they are ruled by Venus, and by triplicity they are ruled by Saturn. So they're bringing that Venus-Saturn mix. You understand how the triplicity, how the term gives you less and less of understanding actually. Now, the next 10 degrees of Virgo is attributed to Venus. Now, interestingly, if you have any planets, so from 8 to 18 degrees of Virgo, and if that planet is conjunct to malefic, like Saturn or Mars or Ketu, then you could be involved with prostitution. Again, very interesting. We're talking about virgins and sacred prostitution. So Valens says, the Vatius Valens says that this particular term of Virgo, if you have any planet, say you have a Venus there, and that Venus is conjunct to Mars over there, or conjunct to Saturn. Of course, you have to see other specifications. I'm not saying every single time that's going to be, but there is an underlying hint of prostitution, exchange, or even looking at prostitution, or writing about it, something to do with prostitution in this term of Virgo. The next term of Virgo, 4 degrees, belongs to Jupiter. The next 7 degrees belongs to Mars, and the last 2 degrees belong to Saturn. So where does our lunation fall? 25 degrees. So by term, this lunation is ruled by Mars. Okay, because Mars rules the 25th degree of Virgo by term. So interesting, very, very interesting. We've got Mercury, who happens to be the domicile ruler. Okay, we've got Mars, who happens to be the term ruler. Okay, and then we've got Venus, who happens to be the triplicity ruler. So we've got Mercury, we've got Mars, we've got Venus in action. There's Mercury in Libra, ruled by Venus. So things are getting more Venusian, more Venusian. Where is Venus? Venus is in Leo, ruled by the Sun. And where is Sun? He's ruled by Mercury, he's in Virgo, on the 25 degrees on the moon. There's the Hyros Gammas. So Mercury again. So we've got Venus, we've got Mercury, and we've got Mars. And Mars, where is Mars? Mars is in Aries. And Mars is, at this time in the lunation, already retrograde. And the last time Mars was retrograding in Aries was 2011. So you see how the personal planets are actually taking center stage this lunation by triplicity, term, and phase. So, domicile, sorry. Bound and phase is the same thing, okay? Now, so by term, Mars rules this lunation. So there could be this cutting and scarring that Mars retrograde is gonna fuel for everybody, right? There's medicine available, but for people who want to be disruptive, disruption is available. Take disruption if that's what you want. Change the status quo right now. Now, the Sabian symbol. We have to discuss the Sabian symbols. Oftentimes I discuss the Chandra symbols as well, the Omega symbols, but I'll keep it short and sweet. We're already at 46 minutes. Can you believe that? So a flag at half mast, right? A flag at half mast. When you think of the Sabian symbol, it's very effective to just close your eyes and visualize. A flag at half mast. What does a flag at half mast symbolize? It is to show respect to someone who's achieved something in society, done something in society. Then again, you think of the flag at half mast. Is the flag going up or is the flag coming down? Are you, so to say, and this is so symbolic of Mars, are you conquering something? The flag goes up. Or has someone conquered you that your flag goes down? You know? Things to think about. That's how the world of symbols speak to us. The first thing is a very visceral reaction to a symbol, like eyes, Mars. You look at something and you immediately connect it to something in your mind. A half mast, a flag at half mast. Where have I seen this? What does that mean to me? So, to me, it is the up and down dynamics that we are feeling. Okay, up and down, right? This MANZIL also, and this Mars being the term ruler, and Mars being retrograde. And as we speak, 6 planets are retrograde in the sky. Jupiter stops going retrograde on the 12th. Well, the others are, and Mars is now retrograde, and Mars retrograde in rulership is going to be heavy, right? Because I've said this once, I've said this twice, it's going to be complicated now because Mars is going to square all these Capricorn planets. So infections will be on the rise, people. I've told you this once, twice, many times. Listen to this. Also, the flag at half mast could signify a job well done, right? Because you're being sort of recognized for something you did, maybe, destiny fulfilled for sure, right? Now, the DECAN tarot, I've explained it to you, is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay? And, okay, now we're going to start talking about the fixed stars, right? So I gave you a little bit of an intro into the fixed star astrology because we've got 3 fixed stars in play in this lunation. LABRUM, Copula. Copula is in 25 degrees, exactly conjunct. We've got 26 degrees Labrum. We've got 2657 ALKAID. Okay, not Al-Qaeda, ALKAID, ALKAID, ALKAID. Okay, so pretty interesting. Now, oftentimes, this is very important. Please concentrate when you're listening to this. So I have had many people who've come to me with planets in this decan of Virgo in 25 degrees. And most of them had either Saturn or some of them even had Mars. And the problem with them was perpetual acidity. And they did not know what they were eating, what they were doing that was creating this permanent chronic dyspepsia. The word chronic also comes from Saturn, Chronos, time, endless. So I was very confused because a lot of them became vegan, a lot of them started doing, oil swishing in the morning, consuming warm water, taking 6 roasted cloves of garlic, but things were just not getting better. And that's when I discovered the fixed star LABRUM. Now, LABRUM, if you have your Saturn in Virgo, on 25 degrees of Virgo, then you may have experienced exactly what I speak of. So the Saturn on this fixed star will create fluid restrictions, especially Virgo's your 6th house or 8th house, and you have that Saturn, or even 12th house, and you've got that Saturn on the 25 degrees. Listen, fluid restrictions. Restrictions comes from the upper part of pancreas. Food does not break down. So what happens when food doesn't break down? So the absorption of vitamins and minerals, the whole function of that absorption is almost nullified. So there's no absorption of any kind of vitamins in your system, right? No assimilation of those vitamins, and your body can't do without these vitamins. Basics, vitamin K, vitamin A, E, A, okay, all of that. Zinc, folic acid, you need that. Effects will include breakdown of nervous system, occasionally problems with the skeletal makeup, right? Chronic stomach pain. Oftentimes this can be misdiagnosed as pitta imbalance, vata imbalance, kapha imbalance, and then you bam go having this medicine, having ashwagandha, having shatavari, having this, that, and the other, but you don't know why. Why do you have this chronic dyspepsia? All the people with Saturn in Virgo on the 25th degree, this is for you. If you suffer from chronic dyspepsia, it is because of Saturn being there on the fixed star LABRUM. Do not eat apples. Your body will not break down apples correctly. So, you can consult me for a better understanding if you so have your Saturn or your Mars or your Ketu on 25 degrees of Virgo. Tropical, not sidereal, tropical, okay, western tropical. Chronic stomach pain. Now, LABRUM is the nature of Venus and Mercury. So we see Venus and Mercury being, heavy players anyway, with Venus ruling through triplicity, Mercury ruling through domicile, right? So we see these two are big players in the equation anyways, right? Now, copula. Copula is of the nature of Moon and Venus. And interestingly, the Moon will be conjunct copula. So this is going to bring out the phlegmatic aspect, because the Moon is cold and moist and the humor is phlegm. mucus, phlegm, all of this, problems with all of that. Now, interesting, very interesting, uh, causes defective eyesight. If you have anything, and I have my Mars at 22 degrees of Virgo, which is pretty close to 25. So I sort of know what I'm saying, and I had very bad migraine all my life. I also had something complicated with my right eye, where I had cylindrical power, and it's called a lazy eye. And believe me, people told me that as you grow older, you're going to get worse, the power is going to get worse, you're going to always need glasses, and this and that and whatnot. I heal myself by Tratak. Okay, Tratak. Tratak, many ways of Tratak. Candle Tratak, finger Tratak, shriveling Tratak, all the Trataks, okay? So I have pretty much controlled my cylindrical power, and my power has actually come down. It's because of that Mars being so close to the fixed star Copula. Do you understand? That's how crazy astrology is, right? Causes defective eyesight, blindness, strong passions. I have my Mars there, conjunct Copula, so very strong passions, passionate about something. Go on. And who's the most passionate? And who's the most passionate planet out there? Pluto. And who is connected to Pluto? Mars, because Pluto is the higher octave of Mars, and Mars rules this lunation by term. Now, strong passions, hindrances. Believe you me, Mars' action, hindrances, non-stop. I face that, okay? So if you have personal planets at about 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 of Virgo, you're going through this copula, this ALKAID, this LABRUM energies. What energies do we feel? What are these things that are coming down to us? What does Saturn bring to us as Lord of the Lord of the seventh planetary sphere? He is bringing to us knowledge from the fixed stars. This is where I sit and do my sky gazing, by the way. I sit right here, no light, of course, and I look out to the sky for hours and hours. I don't have a very expensive telescope. I try to make a handmade telescope, and it works. And I just sit and I sky gaze for hours and hours and hours, you know, and I chant and I meditate, and there's nothing more profound as connecting to the stars above, because the stars above are in my being below, and I feel it. That's why, astrology, as above, so below, is not just a dry dictum. It's honestly a juicy truth, right? Now, so LABRUM rules the pancreas. Take care of that. Copula rules the right lung. So again, you see mercurial sign. Gemini rules the lungs. So right lung. ALKAID is of the nature of Mars. So we've got Al-Qaeda. Yes, a bit reminds me of Al-Qaeda every time I say Al-Qaeda. But Al-Qaeda is the nature of Mars and makes one militaristic. So fights can erupt because lunation is conjunct ALKAID as well. And ALKAID gives tremendous pain in the head, which I had all my life. I had classical migraine, actually, really, really painful classical migraine. And fevers. So anything conjunct ALKAID is going to be problematic. It's the nature of Mars, and Mars rules this by term. So you see how everything fits together. Terms, faces, triplicity, fixed stars, stars. It's too beautiful to ignore, isn't it? So Al-Qaeda is the destroyer of nations. Islamic astrologers called Al-Qaeda the destroyer of nations. I'm going to do so much work on the fixed stars once I have some time and I've completed all of those sun-moon combinations, because you know the fixed stars, nothing literally turns me on more than the fixed stars. I don't know why, I can't even see them, but just the fact that they are there and that in some way, you know, I connect to them. So just rambling, forget that. So aspects now, let's get talking about the aspects. So you got a 1 hour almost detailed astrological expose. So alki, oh, okay, so the aspects. We've got the nodes square the sun and the moon. The nodes of destiny, which is Rahu and Ketu, square the sun and the moon. Squares, and this is an applying aspect. When I do your natal chart, I speak to you about an aspect that is about to happen, so it's applying. There's an aspect which is exact, and there is an aspect that's happened and is separated. Past, present, future. Look at them like that, okay? But the applying aspect is something to really concentrate, because that is the energy that is coming forth rather, okay? So the Lilith conjunct Mars. So, and Mars is ruler by term, and Lilith is conjunct Mars. And last time Lilith and Mars were conjunct together in Aries was back in 2011 again. Crazy, crazy. Now Lilith is also square Saturn, but this is a separating aspect. So you do not need to concentrate so much on that. Now there are 6 planets retrograde, as I told you, this donation. Now the sun and moon are conjunct. So the male and the female join together in blissful harmony, in the darkness of the womb. Because, you know, why do we say Milky Way? Okay, the womb energy. So a lot of this is about, the new moons are about seeding something. And then it will culminate in 6 months when the full moon happens in that sign, okay? So there is a sun and moon trine Jupiter. Awesome, because that's expansive. But remember, trines can be both benefic as well as malefic, right? Sun, moon are trine Saturn. Awesome. We need that Jupiter, Saturn, powerful combination. But who is in dignity? Everything is about discovering which planet has essential dignity. Jupiter has no dignity in Capricorn because that is a sign of detriment. Now also looking at Jupiter in Virgo, this is a sign of Jupiter's detriment. So the energy is not very expansive, not very up in the air. It's more practical, more grounded, like Virgo likes it. It's all right to talk in the air, but how do we make it happen? How do we optimize it? That's why Virgo mantra, I analyze. I analyze, okay? I analyze. Analyze what? Analyze your life, analyze your health, analyze your finances, analyze your love life. I analyze. You can write I analyze. If you have a whiteboard in your house, you can write I analyze. It's a mantra of this sign. And then what do you analyze? It's self-questioning, you know. That can be very revealing during new moons and full moons. Because working with the moon cycles is the most potent form of magic, even for a neophyte or or a beginner. Okay. So sun and moon are opposite Neptune. Fantasy, dreams, lucid dreaming, spiritual awareness, even could be, you know, alcohol, drugs. I just saw on Facebook the sweet meme that I shared. A tiny little mouse standing in a party and saying, "That's me at a party watching people eat salt through their nose." So, the vibe is there with Sun Moon opposite Neptune, right, in Pisces. And Neptune, I told you, is his own dispositor. Who is the dispositor of this lunation? Okay, as where all these planetary bodies are tied up. So we've got some very interesting combinations happening, right? So, okay, let's look at the sun. The sun is in Virgo, right? So who rules Virgo? Mercury rules Virgo. Where is Mercury? Mercury is in Libra. Who rules Libra? Venus rules Libra. Where is Venus? Venus is in Leo. Who rules Venus? Sun rules Venus. So we come back to Mercury. These three people are playing with each other. Now we move to Mars. Mars is in Aries. He's his own final dispositor. Okay, right. Now we move to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Capricorn, in detriment, ruled by Saturn. Okay, now we move to Saturn. Saturn is in power again, but not as dignified as he would be in Aquarius, because air signs, he's exalted in Libra. So Saturn is his own ruler in Capricorn. Okay, now Uranus is ruled by Venus because he's in Taurus. Neptune is his own dispositor because he's in rulership. In modern astrology, Neptune rules Pisces. I used to do that same thing, like I used to consider but Pluto to be the ruler of Scorpio, Uranus to rule Aquarius, and Neptune to rule Pisces. But then, as I started noticing, because, we don't do that in Vedic astrology. So, to me, it was interesting to do. But then as I started looking at the Islamic texts and going back into ancient Hellenistic astrology, especially Valence, which I told you has become sort of like a guru to me, a Turkish astrologer and a practicing astrologer, was also a writer. So I started looking at Mars as ruler of Scorpio. It just makes more sense. When I started doing charts and I started looking at Mars as ruling Scorpio, it gives me more nuances because I understand Mars way more than Pluto. Pluto is the unconscious. You cannot tap into the archetype so easily with your conscious mind. So, the transpersonal planets become sort of transpersonal energies. You can only offer them rulership of signs, and you can give them a co-rulership just because, Pluto happens to be the higher octave of Mars. So you can look at both the rulers, Pluto and Mars, and you can decide that, okay, this person's got this Pluto here. When you're looking at a natal chart and there's a Scorpio native. So you can look at both Pluto and Mars, but you have to give primary importance to Mars. Remember that, okay? At least according to astrologers are using the new rulers, and I have been doing that all these 10 years, over a decade of doing astrology, but now I have shifted on to traditional rulers. So I attribute Mars the rulership of Scorpio. I give Saturn the rulership of Aquarius, and I give Jupiter the rulership of Pisces. It makes absolute more sense to me and gives me a more nuanced understanding of the native in question, right? Now, we've also got the Sun, Moon, trine Pluto. So the Sun, Moon are actually trining Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. These are the three luminaries I was talking about, okay? Now, I think that pretty much concludes the expose of the whole lunation. Now, let's get working on the tarot. I will break it up. I'll give you two houses. I will basically take into equation the Sun and the Moon opposite Neptune. So these are the two houses that I'm going to focus in when I speak about the psychic messages for each sign. Okay, it's going to be quite detailed. So don't go anywhere. Uh, let's start concentrating. It's become much longer than what I intended, of course. But then you know me, once I get talking about the stars, you cannot get me to stop. It becomes almost an impossibility. That's why I decided to go live actually, because not only I was not sure about the amount of space I have, I do not have any equipment as I speak, because I've just not been able to put aside finances to get myself equipment. And that's what happens when you look after animals. You have a baby, and it's just you're not a priority. But I have to get my equipment together, and I promise you tons and tons of really good stuff coming up once I've got all my equipment and I can edit. But before that, I do plan to finish up the sun moon combinations by just going live. Looks like the connection is holding. Looks like I can, speak with you guys. So Aries, this is affecting your 6th and 12th house, okay? But before I begin, let's do a small mantra. Let's start with Ganapati. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namaha. Ashtavinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganpati Bhavaya. May the best messages come through from me for you. May they enrich you. May you understand what needs to be done, how to optimize, how to analyze. Because when you're working with lunar cycles, you have to understand how to use the energy of the lunation. That is the key. Nobody can tell you that. It's all given as suggestion. You've got to figure it out for yourself. So 6th and 12th. 12th is where Neptune is for you, Aries. Dreams are vivid. Imagination is vivid with that Mars, your ruler in your sign, Chiron in your sign, Lilith in your sign, Aries in your sign. Take care of your health. Because if you don't, you're really going to suffer that, opposition of the 6th and the 12th. Some of you, if you get sick, you could, be delirious and tune into other dimensions. And this literally happened to someone who was Aries rising just a few days ago. And it was quite crazy, actually. So, Aries, 6th and 12th. If you don't take care of how you work, if you don't take care of, how you structure your day-to-day, it could literally affect you pretty badly. So keep that in mind. The message from Spirit is, wow, the card of this DECAN, 10 of Pentacles. So precious, precious, precious Aries, okay? Manifestation, creating a legacy, developing your financial, a financial blessing. I see. Okay. Now, as a clarifier, I'm so auspicious to have picked that card. All right, great. The clarifier is 3 of Swords. So a little heartbreak with that. Maybe there's certain things that you have to give up. Maybe certain situations you've had to give up, and that has in a way sort of, hurt you. But if you're looking at clarification from Spirit, I think Spirit gave you a good foundation that yes, you are creating something phenomenal. It's alright if you feel right now that your heart's broken or you don't have all the answers. It's okay. This is expectable. With these luminaries in Aries, it's expectable. It's expected, Right. Moving on to Taurus, this is affecting your 5th house, Sun, Moon, and your 11th house. 2 very benefic houses for Aries, were both malefic houses, 6th and 12th. But fifth house is beautiful. It's where Venus has planetary joy. 11th house is where Jupiter has planetary joy. So these are very good houses. They're benefic houses. Okay, so fifth house deals with love, romance, creativity. So Taurus, if you've been working on that, it's going to be good. If you've been working on an idea, you will be recognized for that idea online. Maybe you will pitch that idea to a group of people and they will accept it. If you're selling a product, it's going to go really well because, you know, this. But of course, oppositions create a tension. So you may need to resolve a tension that occurs between your creative project and the way people perceive it online. There may be a need to balance that tension, but once you do, I see a lot of good. Okay, so you're not counting your blessings. You're feeling like, you know, nothing's what it is, and you're sad, you're upset, and your ruler's in Leo, by the way. So you feel like, you know, something's lost, and like the heavens is giving you like, dude, take the cup, and you're like, no. Dude, look at the cup in front of you. No. I miss that person. I want to do that. I miss going there. I miss meeting that person. I miss that relationship I was in. I see a sort of, you know, melancholic, and we already spoke about how Virgo is cold, dry, and melancholic, and associated with black bile, right? So there's definitely that side of you that's feeling a bit forlorn, feeling a bit like, you know, bereft, and let's see with the clarifier. Seven of Cups, debauch. So you've got two cups, a lot of emotional situation. The Seven of Cups is about essentially too many options and it's all spoiled. And I think that's what's happening here. You're like melancholic, you feel dejected, you feel like, oh, I've not used my time correctly, or that person just left me and went, or, you know, you were running after all these possible options, and this person you really, really loved got maybe upset with you and said, forget it, I'm not going to, you know, stand around for this. And you were probably thinking that, okay, is this person correct? Is this person not correct? And then they go. And here you are, you may have other people throwing themselves at you, and you're like, no, I want that person. And it's probably the Seven of Cups that pushed you towards this, towards ignoring that person, and that person's now gone, and you're like, okay, now what do I do? Now what do I do? And fifth house is romance also. It could be a romance online. It could be literally also for those of you who are not looking at romance, it could be like, you know, you have an option, a career, like a sort of a creative project that you have, and then you've not honed it correctly because you were running all helter-skelter trying to see this will work, that will work, what do I do, what do I do? Although that is not the key signature of Taurus. Taurus is very stable, it's a fixed earth sign, you know. But, you know, Spirit is telling me to tell you that you may have lost something really good, but all is not lost, because this resolution of the 11th and the 5th, if you manage to resolve the tension, your love will come back, Taurus. Your love will come back. Remember, the PICATRIX says that this MANZIL of the moon is very powerful to bring man and woman back. So man and woman, man and wife, bring them back. Very powerful for love spells. So, you know, even with your intention, with your vibe, you need to bring someone back, Taurus. So don't cry over it, okay? Now we've got Gemini. Gemini, very interesting. This is your sister sign, Virgo. You are masculine and mutable, but you're ruled by the same ruler. And now, thankfully, your ruler Mercury happens to be in Libra, which is again another air sign. So it's in a harmonious situation to you, and Mercury is not retrograde or, you know, in any sense in a destructive situation. So Gemini, for you, this is literally targeting your 4th and 10th, so family foundations and career, social recognition. So and like I said, because they're in opposition, there's a tension. So the way you're dealing with your family life and the way you're dealing, the way you are putting work out there and how people are perceiving you, there's some kind of tension over there. Needs to be resolved. Okay, family needs to be given its correct importance. You understand that, Gemini, I'm quite sure, because no matter how distracted, how you know spaced out you are, you will feel it. Okay, 4th and 10th. So something about your home life, something about your public life, something about your personal life, and yet something that is open out there. Let's see the message from Spirit, Gemini. You've got Knight of Swords. So going forth with an idea is is going to be very, very good. This could be somebody who's again air sign. For some of you Geminis, people looking at love and romance. This could be Aquarius or Libra or another Gemini person coming in or sending you a text, or just saying that, hey, you wanna go to this party, you just meet someone. I know the social scene is not the same because of coronavirus, but I have a feeling that this Knight of Swords is a character who's going to take you out of your comfort zone, Gemini, and it's going to be precious. Wow, so we've got the Three of Wands in reverse. So there's going to be some kind of, interestingly, this is called virtue in the Thoth Tarot. So there's definitely a lack of virtue maybe in your interaction with this person, or this person promises very many things and maybe does not deliver. So whatever it is, although the archetype is not reversed, I think there's a bee here. Yes, there is a bee here. So if the bee comes right to me, I'm going to have to run inside. But see, I don't know, it could be a wasp also actually. Yeah, I hope he goes away. Please go, please go, please go, please go, please go. Okay. He's hovering right here. I don't want to be stung by a waspy. Precious me, go away, please. Oh, did you see that? Okay, I hope he doesn't come from the back. Dang, he's up again. Okay, so I guess I may have to just shorten the. Ooh, he's swinging really close. He's coming really close. Okay, I guess, guys, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what. I should not freak out really. I mean, but I don't want to get stung by a wasp right now. Okay, so Gemini. Where is the lack of virtue? Remember to write out the mantra after Virgo Lunation. I am so not going to hurt it because I don't believe in hurting any creature. Hello, look what's going on. I got a wasp. Oh my God, where is he? Oh, okay. I guess he's. Oh my God, he's right. Alright guys, I don't know if I should continue the. I don't want to get stung on my live feed on YouTube. Please go, please. Right, please, he's coming for you. I think I'm gonna have to call my man to neutralize this. Oopsie, please, I love you. Okay, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Okay guys, I don't think I'll be able to continue on with the tarot because he looks to be like he's ready to sting me and I don't want to get stung. So I guess I'm just gonna have to end the. Please go, please. I don't believe in swatting wasps or bees or flies or anything, but gone. My daughter's there. Don't come in. Don't come here. I don't know. Okay, maybe I can continue. Who knows? Alright. Thanks for sticking by and not buzzing off. Okay, Cancer, it's your third and ninth. So let us get to Cancer. Cancer third is local neighborhoods, siblings. Oh, he is. No, please go. Oh my god. Okay, guys, bye. He's hovering really close. I am gonna have to do another video. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. But I'll do the tarot reading all the way from scratch. Again, I'll start with Aries. But don't forget to check out the astrology on this live. It was really nice talking to you. I'm so sorry it had to end like that. But I think Waspy needs his place, and I'm gonna give him his place. You know, who am I? And you know, wasps. I have to really look at the significations of wasp and you know which planet. They have a planetary correlation. It could be a message, literally. I got a snake skin shed outside, like right here as we speak. In the morning, I wake up to a shed snake skin. So it's going crazy with all the animal totems. So speak soon, guys. Bye.